Hey everybody, welcome back to 4Piece Consulting. If you're watching this video, I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by and devote a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to listen to the stuff that we have to share. If I would recommend that you go and check out our introduction video, introducing you to the 4Ps, the 4 pillars of business success that we subscribe to: people, process, product, promotion, and then sort of the underlying methodologies that we have in place to go about really digging in deep to each one of those pillars or quadrants. And then the second video is part of the be, do, have model, which we believe is sort of the underlying or underpinning of the 4 pillars. So if you check that out, we ask you to come up with a few things, sort of some homework, a few things that you want to have. And these should be mid to semi-long-term goals. You know, we usually like a minimum of 1 to 5 years is probably a good time horizon, because anything less than that is something that just really needs just massive focused action that you can probably achieve, as long as it's, you know, realistic and attainable. But things that have a little bit longer time horizon require a little bit more long-term commitment. And that's why we really have to dig into the emotional drivers of those things. So check out that video if you haven't already. If you have, we'll jump in. So we ask you to come up with a few things that you wanted to have, and then to use what we in the CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, called the downward arrow technique. So we use this in a business setting to say what it is that you want to have, and then you kind of just keep going, why do you want to have it? So if I think we'll use the example of, let's say, $1 million. Well, the $1 million, we want to have it because it would make us feel good. Why would it make us feel good? So we're going down each level. It would make us feel safe. Why would it make us feel safe? Because I know that all my bills are paid and I don't have to worry about being able to buy food and the necessities to live. Okay, well, why does that make us feel safe? Because I'm scared of not having enough, or there's a fear that I may not be able to provide, or there's a scarcity mentality that I don't think there's going to be enough. So, and we don't want to get too in the weeds and too esoteric on that, but we do want to really kind of peel away the onion and find out what that underlying is. So now that we kind of have that settled, to have exactly what it is, we've said, okay, there's a dollar amount, but we've really looked at the safety aspect. So in that equation, we could also say that if the real reason for wanting the $1 million is that safety, would it be better to have, let's say, an investing app on our phone that when we open it up, we saw, $1 million value in one of our portfolios? Or would we get the same feeling from having a house that was paid off and cupboards full of food? Or would it be that we have a really safe job that we know is going to be there tomorrow, that provides extremely good income, or a pension that we know is going to be there and is sort of a perpetual supply of income? Or conversely, would it be a business that is cash flow positive and creates a stream of income, and we reinvest that income into other income producing assets such as real estate, things along that. So you can kind of see where the $1 million golden egg, or mythological $1 million thing that we came up, really can manifest itself in a lot of different ways and still meet our inner need or inner reasoning for wanting that $1,000,000. So then we want to say, okay, well, what's the emotion? And the emotion is either or the emotional driver is going to do two things. So when you think of something, it should either pull you towards it, really attract you, or it should propel you away from it. Other ways of saying that is that it should make you want to go towards it, or it should make you want to run away from it. So which one are you motivated to? So if we think about a lot of men, say with women, some men want to run towards a beautiful woman because they're highly attracted to her. And they see the desire and attraction and those things. But conversely, another man might run from a beautiful woman for fear of rejection or, things like that. So there's different drivers. And same thing in business. Maybe it's that we are driven to succeed because we want to get a certain position or that dollar raise or whatever it is, or we are doing these same things, but as a effort to run away from fear of lack of not having, or fear of getting in trouble, or fear of not succeeding. So a lot of times two people can be pursuing the same goal, but with two completely different emotional drivers. So that's where we really need to then again assess that. So in our example, if we were saying the $1,000,000, when we looked down, our downward arrow did not point towards we're doing it because it's a yardstick or a measuring stick of success for us. We just wanted to have that $1,000,000 because it would make us feel accomplished, or it would make us feel successful, or we felt that we needed to have that to fit in with our peer group. We were doing it to get away from the fear of not having, or away from the fear of poverty, is in my estimation. Now, some would argue that maybe we were doing it to gain the feeling of safety, but typically safety is a self-perceived thought, because you're really not safe at all. You can get killed driving down the road from no fault of your own. So safety is a self-perceived lens that we view things through. So anyway, now that we have that, we can easily break down into what we have to do. So what we have, and now we're working backwards in the be, do, have to the doing. So doing is real simple. Doing are the actions that you have to take to achieve the desired result. So with that, if we said we want to have the $1,000,000, or we want to pay off the house, and we want to have plenty of food, or we want a pension, whatever it is we decided that was our real goal, now we can say, okay, well, to do that, I have to be able to save X amount of money. So then we can look, and real quickly we can do certain things like look at our monthly expenses and see where there's money that's being wasted, or things that we can cut back on. So that's an instant way to increase our ability to save, right? Our margin between what we spend and what we earn, or what we earn and what we spend. We can then look at ways that we can quickly increase our income. So maybe it's asking for a raise, maybe it's side hustles and other businesses that we can pick up, or a part-time job, or maybe there's lots of stuff around the house that we could sell to earn some quick money. But we want to look at that really quick. So how can we increase income? How can we reduce some of our expenses? And then we can say, okay, well, now we need to invest the difference. So that's one thing we can do. And we can put up very measurable, because now we're talking about numbers, dollar amounts, so we can measure that. And then we can set up a specific goal. So we can say we want to have X amount of money saved by this specific date. And then there's other things. Well, what are other things we need to do to help us, say, get to a position, so that would say pay off the house or earn that certain dollar amount of income? Now we can start what I call stealing success, is something that I'm big on, is modeling. So we just look at people that have achieved what it is that we want to achieve, and we need to mimic their behavior. And even more specifically, I like to pretend or act as if we are those people. So if you want to, say, you're in real estate and you want to increase your sales, best thing to do is go to open houses and talk to realtors and ask them how they're doing it. Read books about it, watch videos about it. But really the best is to talk to people and ask really good, specific, open-ended questions, not just about what they're doing, but why they do it and how they think, what their thinking process is, how they're processing their thoughts about doing it. So that's one thing you want to do, and then begin to mimic those behaviors. Same thing. So if you're in a sales, maybe you can go and find other industries of people that are successful in sales and ask them, what is it that you do? Look at people that are successful with investing or with saving. I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan, so maybe check his stuff out and say, what is his proven system to achieving results with being able to pay off debts and a lot of times increase their income. But the point is that you have to figure out what it was that you wanted to have, and then very specific goals of how to achieve that, what you need to do to have those same things. So now that you kind of have the gist of what it is that this part is, the doing, what we're going to figure out is the inner drive and emotion that goes into causing you to do these things. So you've now defined it, and it's easy to understand. Just like if I said I want to lose weight, I know that I need to eat less and work out more. If I want to save more money, I know I need to earn more and spend less. So the doing is typically an easy thing to figure out, but the actual doing of the actions is sometimes hard, especially hard to implement over time. So it's very easy to get, rah, let's go and get amped up and begin, but to actually maintain that level of commitment over time takes commitment and integrity to yourself and to your word, and to your commitment that you're going to follow through on what you said you are. But what we have to do is really get into the next part, which is the being. So, and I think it's sometimes the most tough to grasp for people, because it's a little bit heady, a little bit, seems a little bit kind of out there when you first start getting it or hearing it. But once you grasp it, it like just burst inside of your mind. Like it's like everything just connects and you get it. You understand what it's about. So the being is assessing your current beliefs and values. And your beliefs, like we talked about in the introduction video, are things that, beliefs in religion, beliefs in karma, beliefs in things like that, the way the universe works. And then your values are usually subsets of your beliefs. So if you believe in Christianity is your belief, then your values are going to be, kindness and love and, praying to God and forgiveness, all the things that religion preaches. So what we have to do is assess where you're currently at and why those beliefs are causing your current values, such as, let's say, spending on what we would call frivolous things, but there's some reason you believe that you deserve it, or you believe that you don't deserve to have a big amount of money because it makes you look greedy, and then your values go in alignment with that. So then first thing we have to do is kind of assess those, tear those down, and then we can rebuild a new foundation of beliefs that are centered around what it is that you want, and then values that are in alignment with those that are going to cause you to value the actions or the doing that will propel you to get the have or the things that you want. As we get more into that, I want to kind of forewarn you that it will seem weird, but it is our belief that everything has no real meaning except the meaning that we place on it. Whether it's good or bad, it just is. And we attach a meaning through our past, through our past learning and experiences, and through the past stories that were told to us by our parents about us or who we are or our parents. And all these things have gone in to create the story by which we choose to see the world and by which we choose to explain things, such as if we were alive a long time ago, we would explain, things as the sun god or the wind god, or that the earth was flat, or that, all these things that were thought were considered true at the time, and that was how people saw the world through. So it was, and as we've changed, societal beliefs and norms have changed, and causes again for us to see it. But a good example is if we were raised by people that weathered the Depression, we probably see the world through a slightly lens of scarcity. So that's a quick way to kind of explain that. But for right now, you've got your haves, you've done your homework. Really dig down deep on your next assignment, on what you need to do to achieve those things, the exact things, and get very specific, short, medium, and long-term doings to get that, to achieve those goals. Make sure they're smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Really put this down on paper. You need to be doing your homework and putting it on paper. Every single person that we coach, whether it's life coaching, success coaching, career coaching, and most importantly, business coaching, they all do some form of this homework. It's very important, because I can teach you and show you, but I cannot do the homework for you. I can show you how to build muscle, but I can't lift the weights for you. You have to do that. And you're going to have to do it over and over and over, especially as we begin to break down your thoughts and your beliefs. You're going to have to continuously monitor and catch yourself thinking old thoughts, challenge them, change them, and replace them with the new ones. You have to do it until it becomes second nature, and then continue to do it until those thoughts change. Just like running until you get fit, just like dieting until you lose weight. You have to do it. You have to be responsible for you. So once again, thank you for joining us. Please go do your homework. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe. It helps us reach more people and be able to help more people. Go check out our other videos. Check us out on social media. And stay tuned for the next part in this series, which is the bean, which I think is going to unlock a lot of misunderstandings on what has stopped you from getting to success. Thank you very much. This is 4P Consulting. See you next time. Bye.